know a lot of you have tuned in for this very special part of
We've
Walk for the
all
Animals.
been waiting for this.
We really have. So before we bring in our special guest, we do want to just give a little fundraising update. Holly, where are we at?
So we are nearly to $86,000, you guys. We are so close to hitting that $86,000 mark. So we need you to help us make this happen. We're still pushing our way to 100,000 today.
We're so close. We're going to have to start coming up with weird things we can do if we put eyes in the face or something. You guys can help us do it. So, follow the link. It's just www.awlawalks.org to donate. You can make this happen for us. So, we're going to stop talking because we know why you're really here, and that is to see Cupid and his mom, Lauren. So let's bring them in. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Cupid.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us today. So for those who don't know, Cupid was adopted by lottery by NBC4 Storm Team meteorologist Lauren Ricketts. We are so excited to have her here with Cupid. And he is looking fantastic. He's in his usual spot on your shoulder.
He is. And he loves to be perched right here. And we just like to watch TV and hang out together. Right now he's looking out the door at some birds and waiting for me to give him a treat. But yes, he is doing so well, guys.
He's living the life. Well, what we want to do really quick is for those who may not know Cupid's story or who may have forgotten some of the details, we have a little recap video of his story. So I do want to give a little bit of a warning. Some of the images are graphic. Yes. Cupid was shot with an arrow in West Virginia through his face. So you will see that. So if you're a little bit squeamish, you might want to just look away for a minute. Yeah. And then we'll be right back with Lauren and Cupid. Such an amazing story.
I mean, to see that and then to see him with you now, Lauren, it's so incredible how far he's come.
Oh, I think we're getting his butt right now.
You are. Come here, baby. He's like, I live that. I don't need to see that.
So we are going to be asking you a couple questions about how Cupid's doing. If our supporters and our followers and our friends want to ask a question, drop those in the comments. And when we're done with our interview, we will be asking Lauren some of your questions. So drop those below. But I guess we'll just get started with how did this come to be? Can you tell us how Cupid came into your life, Lauren?
Well, it's a really interesting and kind of sad story, but it has a happy ending, obviously. So he's all up on the counter looking for things to do right now. Hey, come here, sweetheart. So February 19th, and he went into the hospital on the 14th. When did you guys get him?
The 14th, right? Yeah, the 14th.
Is it the 14th? Okay, so I back in he's reaching for the tree. In February 19th, I was 5 months pregnant, and I was pregnant, obviously, and I had a miscarriage. I was in the hospital for a week, and the baby was alive, and then I ended up giving birth, and it wasn't stable on February 24th. So being in the news, I was looking at my Instagram feed. I was laying in the hospital. My water was breaking. I was feeling so bad. And I knew the outcome was probably going to be bleak. And I started on my Instagram page, I started seeing, my voice is shaking. I started seeing this cat. And I was like, gosh, first thing as a news person, and even though I do weather, I was like, that cat, is this a news story? Which obviously, and I didn't think much of it. I was dealing with my own things. And then after February 24th, when I realized that, I had to give birth and that I wasn't going to be taking home my child, I got home and I was just kind of obsessed with this cat. And I was like, oh gosh, if it goes up for adoption, like I just have to try. I know everybody in the world is going to try to get this cat. The great thing is there were so many signs. 14 was like my lucky number. I played collegiate sports. It was my number in high school. It is just in high school, college. It was just my lucky number 14. That's number one. Number two, Arlington, Animal Welfare League of Arlington is not that far away from where I live. So there was very few excuses. When I got home on that Monday, the adoption process went live that Thursday. I was like, I've got to try. Let me just see what happens. If I get him, I do. If I don't, whatever. Well, you guys ended up I drew number 14, and that's what I got. He was born on the 14th. I was like, there's no way I can't get this cat. And then you guys called me, you said you called me at 7:30 on Friday, and I think it was like 7:40, and I was like, oh, I didn't get Cupid. It was like 7:45, and then you guys called me. And then, and you were like, yeah, he's yours if you want it. And I said, oh, yes, I do want him. So I got him, and he has been incredible. And he's just been such a great distraction, just given everything, especially COVID. And, I adopted him early March. So that's how we came together. And I got to think that it's somewhat a little bit of fate that we came together when we did.
I think so too. I mean, I remember meeting you and taking your application and I remember reading your application and I was just like, and thank you. We have to say thank you for sharing that. I know it's a very personal story. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Of course.
And, I know that a lot of people, I think are share some of those feelings with you even. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing that. But I just remember kind of this feeling so much, and in my head I remember thinking, I hope she gets this cat. And we did everything by a lottery, and there were 19 people that ended up actually applying to adopt him. And we just threw them all in a box. And I remember when I pulled out that number 14, I was just like, how the heck is this? This is so crazy. So you made me believe in fate, Lauren. I don't know. And I remember calling you and telling you that you'd been picked the lottery and getting to meet him for the first time. And I also remember that he was a little grumpy with you.
Oh!
He was in such a bad mood the day that he met her, you guys. And I think he was just sick of being there.
Oh,
and
sure.
all these people were trying to pet him all the time. And he was just like, I'm not feeling it. And I was like, oh no. But we took him anyways, and it's worked out so well.
And I've been in contact with you, Chelsea, especially right after through text. And I remember, he swiped at me. I had my hat on, and he swiped, and I was like, oh gosh, is this going to be a bad idea? I just had faith because, you see those videos that Chelsea, you guys did when you guys had him, and he was just, he had an arrow in his head and he's purring, so you knew that he was a kind soul, and it was just probably cameras in his face. He's like, who is this chick coming to take me home?
Exactly. He's like, I'm off duty, you guys.
Done. Yep. And it was more my husband that was like,
I was trying to like make sure he felt okay about it. I was like, it's gonna be fine.
We promise it's gonna be fine. And of course, at that point, my husband wasn't saying no to me too much. I mean, I don't think he could have. I don't think he could have been like, no, we can't adopt this cat. But it was funny because I think I texted you, Chelsea. We took him home, and as cats do when you tend to adopt them, they go in a hiding spot and try to get comfortable and acclimated. And we went out to dinner. We adopted in the morning. We went out to dinner that night and came home, and he peeked his little orange head out of and then just came out. And that night until this very day, he has been up and about and hasn't gone and hid or anything like that. And my husband actually slept with him all 3 nights. Because he didn't want him to be by himself. So that first night, second night, third night, he was like, oh, I don't want Cupid to be by himself. I'll just go and sleep with him.
It's always the person who says,
I'm not sure about this.
Always.
We're all totally in love, right?
All the time.
Well,
Yeah.
tell Lauren a little bit more about how Cupid's been doing since he came home with you guys. I know it was, a big adjustment from him coming from here to home, and it seems like he's really opened up. So what have you been doing to kind of help him along in that process?
Well, we have a million toys, and thank you for all of the ones that you guys sent me home with, and of course, all of the people that donated toys. He had a box of toys, which was good because I don't know what he likes to play with, and all cats are different.
Yeah.
I had my toys for my other cat that I also adopted, Puffy, and she likes feathery things because she likes to lick them. Well, Cupid's not into that. He wants something that looks like it's flying or it's real, which makes sense since he was probably living outdoors for, the beginning of his life. So we've gone through. If I pick this up, he's going to come over here. We've gone through about 9 of these, and he will sit around. I mean, he will sit right in front of this and look down. And one of the things that I've had cats my entire life. One of the things about this cat that is incredible, he's the most vocal cat I've ever seen in my. He's constantly, cooing or making like pick that up, like talking to me all the up to me. Now he's over here and he's hiding over here.
So I thought this part of my life was over,
right?
Being interviewed.
Yeah, so he loves this toy. He loves playing. I mean, we have 1,000 toys for him to play with, but I mean, he does all day.
Look at him go.
Oh yeah, and he's super athletic too. I've never seen. I mean, he is jumping and sprawling out and jumping 3 feet in the air. And I posted this on Instagram before. Like he'll get so tired out that he'll grab this little thing. It's so cute. He'll grab it by his mouth and he'll take it back to his like little safe spot and just be panting because he's so tired because we played so much. So yeah, so he plays all the time. He's kind of fun.
You mentioned Puppy. I know not everyone may realize that you do have another cat. Her name is Puppy. How are they getting along?
They're getting along.
Are they peaceful roommates?
Yeah, they're trying, and it's so cute because she does like to lick everything. She likes to lick me. She loves these feather toys. She'll lick him in the head and just bathe him a little bit. But we've had her for 4 years. We got her when she was probably just about 2 years old. So she's 6. Yeah. And so she's had the house to herself and she's like, what is happening with this thing? And why is there we took Cupid to the vet and the vet was like, I'd be shocked if this cat was over 1.5 years. So he's very kitten-like. Yep. And she's a little older. So they're getting along. It's a work in progress. They're not best friends yet, but hopefully one day.
They don't have to be best friends as long as they can peacefully coexist.
Exactly.
And that's what they're doing.
So you had mentioned that you post about Cupid on your Instagram, and we've of course kept an eye on that because we love Cupid so much. It seems like you guys have such a special connection. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how you've bonded since he's come home with you?
Oh my gosh, I love this cat. He is just and he's so cute. He's so funny. I don't know what it is. Like we just have this little connection. He's always around me whenever I'm on, working, which is from home now. He's constantly around. He doesn't really leave my side. He doesn't like to be held so much. So that's a thing. But yeah, we've got this little kind of connection. I don't know. It just kind of formed organically after everything that happened. I brought him home. I was still healing. He was clearly still healing. So I think he recognized that. And then, I recognized he needed some help too because he looked like a little bit of a hot mess when he got home. But we just kind of happened organically, and
you went through a lot together, so it's very clear you adore each other, which makes us so happy.
I whenever I'm having maybe not a great day, I just go to his Instagram and his little chirpy noises, and just honestly watching the two of you interact just makes me smile. Because it's just so clear that there's such a special relationship there. I love it.
It's so cute. It's so cute. And he's gotten so, so he's gotten so
Like,
he's so, yeah, he's like, oh my gosh, will you please give me a treat? And the thing that people may not know, he's in of course you guys know him. His legs are long. I mean, he's like a big skinny cat, but his legs are incredibly long. So again, he can jump really high. I'm gonna give him a treat here in a sec. But he's got no scarring. Everything has moved. All the fur has moved back in. Yep, he gets some little sleepies in his left eye where the arrow was, but other than that, like, he is completely fine. He loves food more than any cat I've ever met in my entire life. He'll eat anything. He's gone through several trash bags. I mean, we cannot leave food out for 2 minutes because he eats absolutely everything. And last night I was disinfecting the top of the trash can, and I just happened to leave it off. I didn't think there was anything in the trash can he could eat except a couple papers. Well, I guess he got in the trash can last night. Inside the trash can, looked like he had tried to bite away at the so I'm like, what is happening here? But he is
personality for like 5 cats.
Yeah, he does.
Yes. He's and like I said, like, he's just like, you can see everything. He's so furry and he's so soft and he's just so incredible.
I love it
so much.
Well, I love that you mentioned that he sits with you when you're doing the weather, because I think a lot of people didn't realize that the cat in your weather reports was Cupid. So do you think that Cupid is still kind of enjoying his celebrity status? Like
100%. 100%. So I didn't go back on TV because of everything until May. So I think May 11th, I ended up going back on air. And of course, we're working from home. It's COVID. So they set up a whole studio in in Cupid's room, which was his room. The first minute the cameras went on and, welcome back, Lauren, blah, blah, blah. He's running up the couch, sitting behind me. And I was like, okay, all right, here we go. And he was doing it this morning too. I mean,
he can't let the camera go. He just has to stay in the spotlight.
Yes.
He pretends like he's too cool for it, but he's really not.
Well, should we go to some of our supporters' questions?
It looks like we have some questions. I'm going to have to get a little closer to the computer real quick. So let's see if we have any good questions. Let's see. So, thank you, Megan, for thanking Dr. Galati. I think you're getting just a lot of compliments, really. These are mostly just everyone saying, like, you're amazing.
Everyone loving on him, which is exactly what he deserves.
Let's see. We can show a couple of the comments to you so that you can just see what people are saying.
I can see them. I can see the chat.
You can see them. Awesome. Do we have?
Yeah, I can see it right now. And Christina, thank you. I tried. I put more focus in his Instagram than my professional Instagram as a Washington, D.C. meteorologist. So I'm so glad that you like his story.
Right?
So true.
Yeah. People want more of Cupid.
We've got Megan, our development associate, is right here manning the live stream. So we're just going to look through and see if we have. This is so funny. It's just all compliments.
I mean, what else does he deserve but amazing compliments?
We're like, we don't have any questions. We just love him. Yeah. I mean, so thank you guys all for sharing, all these really kind words with Lauren. And I know the Cupid and Lauren story has touched a lot of hearts around here. And we still think of him every day. This is, Lauren, slightly odd, but I actually have the arrow. It's at my desk. And I just, every so often, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. And I am it's just like a little kind of weird reminder of his story and of what we were able to do and help him. And it's just great because so many shelters would not have been able to save him.
Yeah.
And that's not because they're a bad shelter, just because they don't have the support or the funding that we're so lucky to have. So we're so grateful for everyone that has supported him and continues to support him, which is so important.
I'm so glad. And I was going to write you just personally, but I'll go ahead and say it publicly. I'm so there was one point, in I think everybody's ebb and flowing in terms of COVID and, what's going on in 2020. And it was one day during the summer and I was playing with him and I was like, oh, I'm so glad that I have this cat. So I just wanted to thank you, Chelsea, as well. And everybody at Animal Welfare League of Arlington, because it was just so, it was just, I've never, it's very serendipitous. It just happened at the right time. And he's just, oh, what is wrong? What's wrong? What's this ring?" He's like, "I've been laying on this bed for a minute, and I've been doing work. You haven't given me one treat."
Well, and the great thing about our event today is, we get to look back at these stories that have happened in the past, but we also get to look forward to more, well, hopefully not more cats that are injured as bad as Cupid was, but the fact that with the support of your guys' help today, we're able to do things like this. We can give Cupid the surgery and remove an arrow and do all the things we had to do for him. We can perform heart surgeries on dogs and all. There's just so many things I can't even think of them.
And I mean, when somebody reaches out, we can immediately say yes. We don't have to think, is this something we can afford? Do we need to reach out? We can just say yes, bring them, let us help.
We can do it. So, for you guys, definitely, if you can, make a donation today. It can be in honor of Cupid. It can be in honor of your pet.
Absolutely.
Of Lauren. It's fine.
No, and I'm so glad. And, I tell, my friends, my family, this story. And I think the main thing that people are always wondering, like, why would they spend so much money to save a cat? And, because you guys could, and you had the resources to do it. And now, it just made me one of the happiest people after, such a terrible start to the year. And, if we can, get that money to do things like this and make other people happy. And of course he's happy too, and make pets happy. I mean, I just think there's no value in that. So, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody who gave money to, have surgeries like this for Cupid to make me happy. So thank you.
Thank you to everyone else. I think we're just kind of getting to the end of our time. So Lauren, when can people catch you and Cupid on NBC4?
Well, they can catch us in the mornings. You can catch us tomorrow morning, right? Can you catch us tomorrow morning? Catch us tomorrow morning, and it's NBC Washington. So I know I have a lot of followers on Cupid that are not maybe in the DC metro area, but it is NBC Washington Channel 4. We're on at 6 a.m. and you see me every morning, Saturday through Wednesday. So, and you'll likely see this one and sometimes the other one too.
Well, we'll be watching.
Absolutely.
We know. Thank you so much for joining us. And for everyone else, we will be back at 5 o'clock with our president, CEO, Sam. Make sure to post your photos. Please donate. Get outside for a walk. I think it stopped raining. And we'll be back here at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much,
Lauren. Thank you.
Yeah, Lauren would know. Bye, guys.
Bye.